This building I'm standing in front of, 94 República de Uruguay here in downtown Mexico City. Back in the colonial days of New Spain, this was the home of Don Juan Manuel Solórzano. He was a rich man, but he was a very jealous man. And he was sure that his wife was cheating on him with someone. He didn't know who, but he was overcome with jealousy. And so eventually he decided to meet up with a witch, a male warlock. He met with this man, this conjure man, and they met up outside the Temple of San Diego. And he asked the man, "Can you find out who the man is? Who's my wife cheating on me with?" He said, "Well, let me go talk with my compadre, Satan." So of course he didn't go inside the temple, he went next to it. The warlock did some incantations, and then he came back. He said, "Okay, Satan knows who it is. He can't tell you right now. It's not that easy. But if you come back to your own house tomorrow night at 11 o'clock at night, stand here at the door of your house, and the first man who comes by at 11 o'clock tomorrow night, that's the man. You can do whatever you like with him." Well, Don Juan Manuel, he was furious, so he waited at 11 o'clock the next night, probably a rainy night just like this one. The first man who walked by, he approached him. He said, "Excuse me, do you have the time?" The man said, "It's 11 o'clock on the dot." Don Juan Manuel said, "You're a fortunate man, for you know the exact hour of your own death." And he pulled out a knife from under his cloak and he stabbed him to death, left him lying here in the street like a dog. Well, funny thing, the next night, he didn't feel any better. So he was sure that he had gotten it wrong. Maybe the devil meant the following night. You know, I don't know what time zone the devil's on. So the following night, he did the same thing. Waited out here, 11 o'clock, the first man who came by, he stabbed him to death. Well, he couldn't get over his jealousy. Again and again, he murdered every person who came by here at 11 p.m. He kept doing it until one day he was having breakfast and someone came to share the news that his cousin, Don Juan Manuel's cousin, had been found dead, stabbed to death right here outside of his own door. Well, he was grief-stricken, so he went to confess. The priest told him, "Well, if you want to get this sin off of your soul, you need to come here to the Plaza Mayor, the Central Plaza, 3 nights in a row, pray the rosary." Well, the first night, he knelt down. He said, "Oh, you need to kneel at the foot of the gallows, too." There was a gallows in the Central Plaza, and prayed the rosary 3 nights in a row. The first night he was praying, and at midnight he heard a voice come out of nowhere, and it said, "Let's have an Our Father and a Hail Mary for the soul of Don Juan Manuel Solórzano." Well, he was terrified. But he came back the next night, knelt at the foot of the gallows. He was praying. A funeral procession was coming down the street. He followed it. He looked into the coffin, and he saw himself, his own body, in the coffin. Well, he was terrified, but the third night he had to do it. He came back. Nobody knows what happened. But the day after that night, they found him hanging from the gallows by the neck. Maybe he hung himself, suicide out of guilt. Maybe someone hung him, or maybe the devil himself came to collect his debt. But they say that if you walk by this building at 11 o'clock at night, Don Juan Manuel Solórzano himself, he might come up and ask you the time. And if he does, maybe just keep on walking.